Hearty fraternal greetings and good wishes to all the brothers and sisters. In the sacred month of Gemini, we have been gathering here ever since 1988 with Master C.V.V. Mekal as nodal point. It is known in the esoteric circles that Gemini is the month for initiation of humanity as a whole. The full moon of Gemini is also considered as the full moon of humanity. All knowers of all times initiated large groups of human beings in the month of Gemini. Many did so. So did Master C.V.V. by setting the initiation for humanity as a whole. The day 29th May every year. Gemini is considered as the 10th house in the reverse wheel. from 0 degrees Aries, if you observe the zodiac in its reversed wheel, you find Gemini as the 10th house. In the normal wheel, Capricorn is the 10th house of the zodiac. 10th house is the house of realization, according to the science of astrology. Every astrologer, when he looks at the chart of any person, he would observe the 10th house to see how one can realize the very purpose of that incarnation. That's what 10th house stands for. The first house gives the key to work out the plan which is to be realized as per the 10th house. In a solar year, we have a 10th house in the clockwise direction, which happens to be the month of Capricorn, which is called the month of Makara. And that month is considered for all exoteric purposes as a month of initiation of humanity. But those who know the occult side, the deeper side, the hidden side of the truth, know that Gemini is the 10th house. In the normal worldly zodiac, Gemini is seen as the 3rd house. 3rd house stands for brotherhood. That's why brotherhood of humanity can be realized through Gemini. But the very realization can happen only when we see the whole chart in its reverse direction. For each man to realize the brotherhood of humanity, he must be an enlightened soul. Just making slogans that we are all brothers could be a fancy. But in thought and in action, we don't find that brotherliness between humans who generally tend to be selfish. Only a son of man who realizes himself to be a son of God sees the brother in the other. For all others, it remains just an ideal. It's not a real. We speak in idealism, but our actions are generally far away from that idealism. If one is truthful to himself, he tries to build the bridge. If one is not truthful, he lives a very artificial life, speaking in hyperbole, speaking idealistic things. When being observed and doing other things, when not being observed. It is ignorance to think that we are not observed. The observer exists within us. It's not that someone observes from a mountain top or from the heaven or from the abode of Vishnu or Vaikuntha or the abode of Shiva, Kailasha and so on and so forth. There is no distant observer. The observer is within you and observes how diabolic each one of us is when we do not match our speeches with our thoughts and actions. Realization is an individual effort. At all times, self-realization has been an individual effort. It can be a collective effort. If like-minded people work together with the same fiery aspiration, if not, it remains some kind of fanciful activity that we too belong to some esoteric groups, that we too make certain esoteric practices, and we build a separative tendency with respect to our own groups and develop another identity which is again a false identity. There is only one identity, that is the brotherhood of humanity and the fatherhood of God. The brotherhood of the humanity and the fatherhood of God is the only one true original identity. We live in substituted truth with substituted identities. The substituted identity is what we define about ourselves. The original truth is that I am. That is the Father. I am is the Son. That becomes I am to relate to that which has come out of that as creation. It is from that the creation comes. It is from that I am happens. And that one I am has many images. And each one of us is but an image of that one I am. Each I am has its own identity separated from the original I am. I am, or Atman, itself is a becoming of that. That is the absolute truth. That is called the absolute God. Every Nova speaks of that. All this is but that. That's how it is said. All this is but that. But that has taken so many modifications to be all this. Modification has the danger of causing a veil over the original identity. When water becomes ice block gets certain different identity from the water. Verily it is water. Essentially it is water, but it has become an ice block and gains certain properties which the water does not carry. If you splash a glass of water on the face of the other, it doesn't cause a hurt. On the contrary, on a hot summer day, it can cause some soothing effect. But if you throw a stone of ice block, it can hurt. It is essentially water, but has taken to a modification. When it takes further modifications, it gains some more qualities. It is one ocean only that becomes a wave. The essence of the wave and the essence of the ocean is but the same. Essentially, the wave is an ocean, but wave has gained a different identity. It has gained the quality of rising, moving, falling, emerging, appearing and disappearing, which does not exist with ocean. Like that, the Brahman went through so many modifications. He has himself caused modifications to himself to be a universal soul or universal Atma, which is called Vishwaatma. It is him whom we call the cosmic person. The cosmic person is different from the absolute God. The cosmic person is the God in creation. The original Brahman or that is God beyond creation. It is from that which is beyond. An impulse comes, and from that impulse 27 basic elements take place. And those 27 elements come together by the synthesis, which is the nature of Brahman, into an act. It becomes an act, the 27 elements. It is called the cosmic act, or Hiranyanda, or Virat. From out of this act, a cosmic person is born in due course of time. And this cosmic person is the original and we are the images of it. When Bible says God made man in his own image and likeness, it refers to the God in creation or the cosmic man who is given different names in different scriptures. He is called Virat Purusha or Vishnu in Hindu system. He is called Enedios, he is called Zeus, he is called Adam Kadmon, he is called Cosmic Christ. Every place, a group of humanity, according to their language, gave different names to the same cosmic person. We are images of that cosmic person. And we forgot that we are images of that cosmic person and gained some other identity. As Indian, as European, as American, and so on and so forth. And even among Europeans, there are Germans, Spanish, French, Swiss. We have taken to so much of difference of identity that we have lost the unity. By just saying that humanity is one, we haven't really said anything. By realizing it, we have gained everything. Realization is different from comprehending certain concepts which are global, which are of solar nature or even cosmic nature. Knowledge by itself doesn't help unless we apply it upon ourselves. Knowledge, for knowledge's sake, may give you a superiority over the fellow men. Just to prove that I am superior to you, I try to say things which you don't know, and you think I know. I do not know. If you read, you also know. By reading, one has not become a saint. By reading and listening, one has not transformed into a master. By applying the knowledge upon oneself and putting oneself to a process, one transforms into a master. Master means a son of God. A son of man can become a son of God because essentially he is a son of God. He has taken to modification. If he remodifies himself, he can once again become what he is originally. Originality is hidden within us. Artificiality is what we have gathered around ourselves. So the whole work is to reverse this inversion that we suffer from. That's where the work is. Any amount of knowledge will not make us enlightened. The process makes us enlightened. Applying the process upon oneself, it is called putting oneself into experimentation. Allowing transformations to happen to himself. By such transformations, just like the milk becomes yogurt and then butter and then ghee, we can reach our original state of being. Listening can be a good habit. That is what is happening over years. There are knowers who speak. There are initiates who speak. There is a difference. Knowers are those who read scriptures and their keys and try to comment upon them. All those who know scriptures are not initiates. The knowers give a repetitive knowledge. They reproduce what is there in the scriptures by virtue of their command over language, by virtue of their command over certain keys like etymology, astrology, time cycles. That knowledge can make them superior in the world, but they are not as such superior. Initiates are different. That's why Krishna says, instead of being a knowledgeable man, be an initiate. Instead of being a jnani, be a yogi, he says. Yogi bhava arjuna. That's how he instructs. You may do some penances and get some powers, but that's not everything. You may read scriptures, learn with the teachers, you may gain knowledge, you may become a jnani, but it's nothing. Because all that knowledge, all those powers die along with you. As you die, they are gone. But with a yogi, it's not so. A yogi stands on a different footing. He is the one who worked upon himself to have continuity of life, continuity of consciousness, and continuity of purpose. That's important. Continuity of purpose. We continue from what we have done yesterday. And we do it today as a continuation. We further do tomorrow as a continuation of today. But all this terminates with death, unless you have continued to live through death. You have continued to carry the consciousness through death. Then you would also continue to have the purpose. Continued purpose. What I have done in the last life, I continue in this life. Just like what I did yesterday, I continue from there today. If we have no such continuity, you are gone. That's the beauty of the teachings of Sadgurus. Sadgurus are different from other gurus. Sadgurus are those who lead you or give you a path for transformation, a path by which you are transformed to realize yourself as the truth and continue to live with continuity of consciousness and continuity of purpose. These are the three essential aspects. That's where it stands different from acquiring knowledge through listening, through reading. Acquisition of knowledge is like acquisition of money, acquisition of power. It's also another form of power. Knowledge is also a form of power. There are people who have accumulated or acquired knowledge and stood as superiors over others, commanded them, controlled them, possessed them, used them, manipulated them, and did so many other things. That's how people do it. A man of money also does the same. A man of power also does the same. A man of knowledge also does the same. As long as you are in the path of acquisition and attainment, you have only one instinct of being superior to others and controlling others and using them for your own ends and purposes. That's where there is a loophole, and all that activity comes to an end with death. Death is the leveler. Death is the termination. Everything terminates with death. That's what the great initiate Shankara says, Nahi nahi dukkam rakshati dukkam kane. All that extra knowledge that you gain to gain superiority over others doesn't help you when you reach that point of time where you have to face death. Nothing helps you. When you sink into death, all that you have acquired is gone. So all that effort of acquisition, either of money, or of power, or of people, it's all gone just with death. And again you start with the square one. 0 point. So it's like saying, let us start the game again, love all. So this is how the whole game goes on and on and on. And we have been doing like this again and again and again. And taking birth, taking death, taking birth, taking death. And all our pursuits end with that death. End with that death. That's where Krishna tells, Yogi Bhava Arjuna. Yogi means a state you reach where you have transformed yourself to be the truth. Once you become a yogi, you know your past, you know what you have to do now, and what you are to, what is the program for you for the future. That's how yogis are born. Ramana Maharshi is a yogi. Ramakrishna Paramahansa is a yogi. Shri Sai Baba is a yogi. In recent times in India, you have seen so many yogis. Every century gives birth to 10 to 12 yogis. They are all men, son of men, that are transformed into son of God. They are good examples to us. All those whom we display on the altar are those who have put themselves to transformations and continue to live even after death. To live here well and to live thereafter well, to continue to help, to continue to serve humanity, to continue to serve the creation as such, not only humanity. As that's how, from eons of time, masses of wisdom have been continuing with one purpose. Continuing with one purpose of helping the beings of creation. That's how there is a hierarchy of teachers. There are teachers in the cosmic plane, there are teachers in the solar plane, there are teachers on the planetary plane, and there are teachers always available in creation at all times. And those teachers can be found only by those who think of transforming themselves. It's not that they sit and find. Those who are willing to transform themselves into truth, to them the teachers make themselves available. To others, they may be known, but they do not know what they represent. A true initiate may be moving along with others, but not known to others as to what exactly he is. He remains simple, he remains humble, he continues to help persons who are willing to transform themselves. That's how at all times they have been yogis. And those are the ones whom we display on the altar, not in its completeness, but to show that there are among the humans who have transformed themselves from being sons of men to have become sons of God, and who continue to help humanity ever since they have become sons of God. That's the one. And they are the inspiration. They are the ones who move with the three bodies. They have a diamond body, they have a golden body, they also have a body of flesh and blood. They have a Vajrana Sarira, a Divya Sarira called Sushma Sarira, and then a Bhautika Sarira. These are the three Sariras. Every true master speaks of this process. Every true master speaks of this process. Master Jwalapur, who has become so very popular in the West in the beginning of the last century through his teachings, he frequently speaks of the transition, the transcendence, and the science he gives is the science of Antarkarna. He says every man has to build an Antarkarna Sarira. That is what exactly Patanjali speaks in the yoga, and that is what exactly Lord Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita. And that what exactly Jesus Christ refers to whenever great acts of teaching and healing have happened through him. He frequently said, "My glorious white robe." The glorious white robe he refers to. The 5 words in Hebrew which say, "My glorious white robe." He refers to it. This is what he has gained by putting himself to certain processes for 18 years. And for that purpose he disappears in the Middle East, in Israel, and then conducts the processes for 18 years, comes back with a vestitude through which he could do acts of supernatural nature. So was Pythagoras. He also gained such body. He also went to the east because there were novas. Even today, not in generally in India you can find novas. Your fierce, fiery aspiration leads you to them. Even Pythagoras went to east and then prepared it, came back, and he has even displayed it to some of his own followers. When they wanted to see the golden body of Pythagoras, he just lifted his robe, and then a disciple saw a golden thigh, and then he covered it. Similarly, you have so many examples in the lives of initiates. Please follow the path given by an initiate. Do not generally go by the philosophy which is just like a romance with knowledge. There are romantic philosophies which speak of so many things, but they don't let you change. They don't enable you to change. Change comes only when you take to a specific path of abhyasa. Abhyasa. Jwalpul himself has put himself to a process of abhyasa and built that antakarana sarira. Therefore he speaks of antakarana sarira. In Bhagavad Gita, in the 8th chapter, in the 15th chapter, Lord gives about the 3 aspects of man, Kshara, Akshara and Purushottama. That there are 3 potentials in man. Not only is a man with a body of flesh and blood, from that body of flesh and blood, he can prepare a body of golden light. He can further prepare a body of diamond light and continue to live eternally. That's the theme. That's the theme for transformation. That theme is what we have to pick up, not picking up some knowledge here and there and trying to show up here and there. Practice. Practice is important. Without practicing anything you do, you stay where you are. A caterpillar can become a butterfly if there is a specific practice. If it gets into a cocoon and puts itself through transformations, it comes back as a butterfly. Like that, a son of man can transform himself into a son of man. The entire literature coming through Madam Bailey from Master Jwalpur speaks of only one concept, that this humanity has to transcend death. Transcend death, gain immortality, live as sons of God upon earth, become pilgrims but not prisoners. We have the potential to be pilgrims on the planet, but we have settled to a state of being prisoners of planet. The prodigal sons is what the Bible speaks of. Prodigal son that we are, because we have not put ourselves to the needed process. Process is important. This process is called, in Sanskrit term, abhyasa. Abhyasa. Only practice makes man perfect. If you regularly practice what is already known to you, it enables you to transform. But if you are not regular in your practices, the needed transformations do not happen. We speak in the same diabolic way. We do, our actions are in the same manner, and our thought patterns continue to be always the same. There is no improvement in the thought patterns. There is no spiralic movement of thoughts into higher planes. It's only a rotational process of getting the same thoughts, like the rodent round the mill, rodent round the mill, rodent round the mill, about yourself, about your economic situation, about your health situation, about your family situation, about your plan of progress and the impediment, and about your opinions about others. Only in this lurch generally man. He reduces himself to be a victim of circumstances, and then you come up with a theory saying that man is a product of environment. It is such an ignorant statement to say that man is a product of environment. Man is essentially heavenly. If he has submitted himself to environment and get conditioned by it, it's only by his own weakness he has succumbed to that situation. It's like the prince becoming a slave. Like a prince becoming a slave or a prisoner. Man has every potential that God has. When we say God, we mean the cosmic person. Most of the students do not know that Brahman is different from cosmic person. It is Brahman who becomes a cosmic person. That's why Brahman has become an Atman. That's how Bhagavad Gita says in the 14th chapter. People don't read. They read but they don't read. Brahman has volition to become an Atman. A part of him becomes an Atman. That Atman is called universal Atman, or heavenly man, or God in creation, and we are his images. So as much as the cosmic person carries the potential, in a miniature form we too carry. If we relate to that, we tend to gain the unlimitedness of the cosmic person, contrary to the limitedness that we suffer from. And that is possible if we put ourselves to certain practices. Every teacher, every Sadguru has given practices. If it is with Master Jwalpur, you should think of building Antarkarna Sarira. There is a process of building it. Antarkarna Sarira means building the body of internal implements. There are external implements, like the outer body, the five senses that enable you to relate to outside. The five senses are the five implements. Bahitkarnas there. There are Antahkarnas, meaning internal implements. We can build the internal implements by turning within. Turn the mind within. Don't engage always outside. A mind that wanders always into the objectivity forgets that it has a potential to turn subjective. That's why to turn subjective is very difficult today. In the olden days, from the very beginning of education, the 5th year literacy, Akshara Abhyasa, meaning practice relating to Akshara, meaning non-destructible, undestructible, eternal. Akshara. Kshara means destroyable, destructible, temporary, transient. Akshara, eternal, permanent, immortal, indestructible. That is what is called Akshara Abhyasa. It's not learning ABCD. It's not learning alphabets as such. That's not everything. The mind has to be trained right from the 5th year, both in its application to objectivity and its application into subjectivity. That is Akshara Abhyasa. That is called initiation into education. We don't have that education. Men have become only men of objective minds. And even that mind is polluted. Polluted with the competition, with the covetousness, with the jealousy, with the hatred, with the anger, and all that. But he has a subjective mind. The Greek theology speaks of a god called Janus. He has a subjective mind and an objective mind. One head the other way, one head to the front. Two heads. Just like in India we have elephant-headed deity, horse-headed deity, So many heads, they have different heads. No? Like that in the Greek mythology, there is a deity with two heads. Only to show, you man, we have a subjective mind as well as an objective mind. The whole transformation starts with developing first the subjective side of mind. Subjective side of mind. Because the objective side of mind works with the objective implements like seeing, listening, tasting, touching, smelling, etc. And walking in the outer. If you develop the subjective mind, there is a subjective sight. There is a subjective listening. There is a subjective smell. If a master of wisdom passes through, he can smell. Because every master has his own fragrance. His own fragrance. That's why you recognize the presence of a master, presence of a great one. Seeing is still better. Listening to what he says cannot be developed unless you have developed an inner ear. I was saying yesterday these things. See with the heart, listen with the heart, sense with the heart. So there is an internal mind, subjective mind, antarmanas. If you don't develop it, don't waste your time with these esoteric books. Better get lost with whatever you are with it. It's waste of time. To develop that, you need to practice. Arjuna himself said, no, it's very difficult to develop it. Every disciple says it, why Arjuna? Arjuna is our representative. He is an Ara. He is a representative of humanity. So he said, oh Lord, it is difficult to develop it. Yes, he said, it is difficult because you did not do it from the beginning. No one told you to do it from the beginning. If you have told to do it, and if you have practiced it from your childhood, it becomes as easy as you think with your objective mind, see with your objective mind, listen, touch, smell, taste. Similarly, you can taste within, you can smell within, you can listen within, you can see within. You can do anything from within. This is the inner man. We can't just remain outer man all the time. An outer man is compared to a street dog. Don't mistake me. A man who has only outer mind is like a street dog. He only knows how to go around and get things done for his own stomach. Belly feeling isn't it? And then pride feeling. That's all the whole activity is. Feeling the belly, filling the head with pride. I have done this, I have done that, I have done that. All that you do is like a bubble. What is the longevity of a bubble? What is the longevity of a bubble? But the actions carried out by those who inspire even today, like the initiates, thousands of years, they remain, they continue to inspire. So there is a way to live in a greater glory, which man only can. Man only can. That is what is intended by the practice or by yoga. Yoga does not mean some exercises or some breathing through the nostrils and pretending to be doing some meditation. Yoga means to enter into, to unite with what? To unite with your inner side. You are only with your outer. In the inner, there is an inner man, an insider. Within the insider, there is the divine one. So we are just 3 in 1. 3 in 1. If we only have an objective mind, have only the ability to relate to objectivities, we are called in the scriptures as animals, because animals also do the same. Pasus. In Sanskrit, they call it pasus. Pasus are those who can see, pasyakas. Pasyakas are those who can see and feel the objectivity. But we can be Kashyapas. The word Kashyapa is known to all, but nobody wants to know what does it mean. Kashyapa means is the one who can see within, who can see outside. He can see within, he can see outside. So if you see only outside, even animals do it. What is so great about man? If we can see within, then you are man. Then you are man. Man has the ability to see within, to listen within, to listen to the subtle, to follow the divine plan, and to carry out activities in accordance with the divine plan, not in accordance with the public demand. People do things according to public demand because public is more important to them. The world is glittering, but it's not gold. It's not gold. All that glitters is not gold. So the glittery world takes you away from your own purposes of life. To let you into the purposes of life, there are 2 months in a year which are very congenial. One is Gemini, another is Capricorn. That's how astrology leads us for initiations in the month of Gemini and in the month of Capricorn. Master CVV, who is a high soul, who lives in the cosmic, solar and planetary planes, he gave twice initiations to humanity. One is in the month of Gemini on 29th May. One is in the month of Capricorn on 29th December. Day 29th December falls in the month of Capricorn. And then 29th May falls in the month of Gemini. You see Moses, his initiation, Pentecost, happens in the month of Gemini. Master Jwalpur speaks of Gemini as the initiation month for humanity. So that's where we are in the month of, this is how I started actually, that we are in the month of Gemini. It relates to our initiation. Initiation means to enter into. Initiation, the English word, emerges from the Latin root. The Latin root says to enter into what? To enter into yourself. In Sanskrit, we call it Upadesha. Upadesha means to walk near to that sacred place in you. To walk near sacred place. Upanayana means to walk near that place. Upadesha means to stay near that. Upanayana means to walk into that. So Upadesha or initiation means we have to walk into ourselves. We have to travel into ourselves. There are as many internal travels as there are external travels. The internal travels can be beyond the planet. The external travels on the planet are costly, and beyond the planet are prohibitively costly. The seers know how to travel from within everywhere. The only thing is, first you should walk in. Walk into yourself. Find time daily to walk into yourself. If you have no time for it, you are lost. If people cannot find a little time, twice daily, to walk in, the truth is it has to be thrice daily in the East and 5 times daily in the West. That's how the masters speak. Because the West is much more into activity, they need 5 times a day. The East also imitates West now, so they also perhaps need 5 times a day internalization. A pentagonal internalization. Because the mind is so active, so busy. Which mind? The objective mind. You have to stop it for a while, turn it inward. For how many minutes? The ideal is 24 minutes. The ideal is 24 minutes. If 24 is too much, make it 21. If that is too much, make it 18. If that is too much, make it 15. If that is too much, make it 12. Somewhere you make it 15. Give a 2 minutes break. 2 minutes break, 5 times a day, choosing a time of your choice. But it has to be the same time always. It can be 5 minutes each time to start. If you find the taste of being at home, you don't move out so much. People are never at home, they are always busy. Always touring, isn't it? What is the home? The home is here in your heart. Your real home is your heart. That's the resting place. That's where you are pulled in through sleep. Nature says, my boy, it's about time that you sleep because you have been roaming too much outside. If you continue like this, you burn up. So nature arranges sleep and pulls you back into your resting place, your home, the heart. On your own, come back to the house. A spoiled child never reaches home soon. He comes back late in the night. If at all he comes back. Sometimes a phone call will come in the morning that your son is there on the platform, fully drunk, and he has fallen over there. Or maybe he is in the hospital, or he is in the police station. So like that we are lost in objectivity, nature brings you back home through sleep. And in the morning, once again you run away from the house. So fast. Feel proud that I get out of the house at 7 o'clock. Don't feel proud to get out of the house at 7. It's only a glamour. Be at home, many be within you, wherever you are. If you are a true student, go out of your own house, natural house, not the house of concrete that you build. You may build beautiful houses, but how much you are in that house, number one. Even in that house, how much you are within yourself. You are always with the cell phone, or the landline, or thinking about outside. Whether you have a house of cement concrete or not, we have a God-given house called the human body. It's a temple essentially. We reduce it into a house, further reduce it into a prison. To many people, their body is their prison. It doesn't let you do anything, isn't it? It doesn't let you get up in the morning. The body mind says, no, you can sleep a little. It lets you eat a lot. No, you can eat a little more. It decides. The body mind decides for us. We don't decide most of the time. So let the mind be trained that you are at home. That you are at home. Don't let it out for nothing. Even amongst 100 people, you can be at home. There may be 100 people around you, 500 people around you. You may be in a big city, but you can be within yourself. There is a way. If you are within yourself, you are not exhausted. If you are within yourself, you will slowly listen to the inner commands. Inner commands. Because the inner mind listens to its superior called Buddhi. Buddhi. From Buddhi, you receive commands from within. A man who trains his mind to be subjective gets a regular program from within himself. For others, the program is decided by objectivity. They decide. Please do this, please do that. We give you so much. The world has a different way of pulling you out. The world is at home also. The family can also pull you out. You can respond to every needed activity and yet remain within yourself. This has to be practiced. From the mind objective turning to mind subjective, I give you the process in these days. I gave many times, but I should give it again and again because we lose it, so it has to be given again. Turn within. To turn within, first you have to decide. Shall I not? Shall I just live like every other? Shall I live in a manner that I would have a continued purpose with continuity of consciousness and continuity of life beyond it? It's an individual decision. If once the decision is made, there is a program for it. It's not a heavy program. It's a simple program, but has to be carried out regularly. Abhyasa means it has to be as continuous as your respiration. Don't you respire continuously? Likewise, there should not be a break in practice. If anything comes at that time, leave that and prefer this. Prefer this to everything else in life, then only you can say that you have made a decision. Otherwise, it is just a fashion. Fashionable things are left aside when there is an important there is other one. When this is the priority, everything else can be left for this sake. Is that our priority or not is the first step. If that is the priority, let everything fall in order, in tune with it. Otherwise, I don't need it. Otherwise, I don't need it. Let things wait. I am with a better thing. I am with an eternal program. Other than that, everything is a temporary program. It changes from life to life. Our changing programs, are they important? Or an eternal continuous program is important? Which is important? This is a question. If you have common sense, you have to ask, and the answer is very clear. Just like you sing in the verse, the answer is in the wind. There is something in each one of us that enabled us to make this travel and to be here, isn't it? That something tells you to anchor your practice so deep and so strong, which is not a heavy practice. It is a new rhythm, a new discipline relating to you, which has to be your priority. And anything that comes across that priority, you will not compromise to it. That is Vairagya. Real Vairagya is not to compromise upon the most essential thing that we have decided upon. When you find, when it is very essential, you don't even eat it. Yesterday we wanted some people to join us for lunch. They did not, because they are with more important things. They were arranging the hall here. So they said, no, we cannot. We have taken a cup of coffee. Fine, because they are with the more important one. But when we are with the most important drug that relates to you eternally, not one life, eternally. We are transforming from being mutable to immutable, from mortal to immortal. So that must be the most important thing to do. That has to be, if the decision is not made, it is wise not to get into such practices, because they are sheer waste of time. Sheer waste of time. Why should we waste so much money, time and energy with a thing that we don't pursue? What we don't pursue, why do we waste money, time and energy? That's where it's important. It is relating to you, to every human. If you have decided to transform yourself and decided not to die, that's what it is. Who wants to die? No one wants to die. No one wants to die, but no one works for it. What an illusion. As if there are more important things. As if there are more important things. The most important thing for every human is that he wishes to live, not to die. If he can live beyond this body consciously, is that not the best situation? He has eons of time to fulfill himself. If he continues to live, he can continue to gain every knowledge. He can continue the purposes beyond cycles of time. That's how Sanat Kumara, Sanat Sujata, Sanaka, the Saptarshis, and the masters on the planet whom we display here, they have been working over thousands and thousands of years. It's not that they are of yesterday or the day before. And they continue, they have decided to live and help beings up to eternity. So is Hanuman, so is Kumara, so is Ganesha, so are others. So we have to follow those who have become immortal. And we too have to shed this pursuit of mortal things. When we decide upon it, then there is a practice. That practice is just give time to it, to train your subjective mind, to give birth to start with. The first initiation is that you give birth to the subjective mind. How do you give birth to it? To give birth to it, you have to stay with him. Close your eyes and observe the activity with him. Observe the activities. If you close your eyes, you find that there is respiration and pulsating activity. It's an activity which is eternally with you. Pulsating and aspiring activity is with us at all times. Try to associate with it. Try to associate with it for long hours. That enables you to stay with him. Because the respiration does not go too far. With exhalation you go up to a point and you come back as inhalation. What is it that pulls you within by way of inhalation? And what is it that doesn't let you too far through exhalation? What is that center in you? You will realize that center in you is the heart. You can be there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there regularly. Stay there for long hours, if possible, on a holiday. But make it a regular practice. Even if your mind once again dissociates with the respiration, goes out, bring it back and stay. This is where you need a lot of patience. You need tremendous patience. Overactive mind gets restless. Understand that the mind is resisting to stay with him. What is that mind? That is the objective mind. Eternal subject. Just like a street dog, a dog which you are training, an untrained dog moves out of the house. But if you regularly train it, even if you don't tie it up, it stays at home. Even if the gates are open, it does not go. It's just a dog can be trained like that. Why can't a man can train his mind? Why can't he train his mind? If you feel I cannot, join with someone who is able to do it. Join with someone who is able to do it. Go to it. If there is someone who has attained that step, being with him helps you to get it because his energy supplements your effort. Don't go to another person who is like you. If you meet another person like you, he also says, I also have the same problem. It's not possible, let us not do it. Like that he says. You already have an idea not to do it. So you join with another fellow who also has the same problem. So together we make a decision and make a resolution. It is not possible, let us not do it. Finish. But there are people who have done it. So why can't you stay with them for a while? It's like an iron piece staying with a magnet. An iron piece will never disturb a magnet. On the contrary, the magnetic impact will come to the iron piece. That's why it is said the lower falls in order with the higher. The higher will not fall in order with the lower. Is it not? We cannot decide how the clouds should be, the weather should be. The weather can decide whether we should hold on to a raincoat or an umbrella or not. So follow the higher, you learn. Follow the higher principle. That's what we do in the world. A man who is a power monger tries to associate with a person who is much more powerful. A man who is a money monger associate with a person who is making more money. Isn't it? Similar is the case here. Techniques are the same. It has to be appropriately applied. So be with a person, that's where satsang is important. And associating with the teacher is important because he has gained it and he knows its beauty, and in his presence it is easily done. In his presence, turning inward becomes easier. There is no doubt about it. Or you go to a sacred place where such an energy is present, it becomes easier. That's how people go to river sides, mountain tops, caves, cave temples, sacred places, waterfalls, or sacred persons. If not, hold on to a sacred symbol within you. You can visualize the sunrise in between your eyebrows and keep visualizing it and stay with it. Imagine the two eyebrows as the two contours of the hill, and there is a sky in the forehead. And then there is a sun ball rising and appearing in between the eyebrows. Stay there. That's how all these practices have come to be. But you should be able to stay with it all the time. All the time means the time when you are decided to be within. Do it regularly. If you regularly do it, as you close your eyes, what you are up to, you hold it, it holds you. It can be heartbeat, it can be a light in the forehead, it can be a flame, unflickering flame in the forehead. The best thing is, which is very perceptible, the pulsating principle near the heart. Whichever is convenient, you just hold on to something because mind wants something to hold. Just like a child has to hold something. A child holds always because it is accustomed to mother's touch. It holds a towel, it holds a napkin, it holds a bottle, it holds a teddy bear or a soft toy. Something is held on even during the sleep hours by a baby. So the baby mind of you, which is the inner mind, which is you are trying to build up, Until it gets familiar to stay within, fix up with something. But don't change it daily by fancy. Today don't think of a sunrise, tomorrow a swan, a third day a flying horse, a fourth day a white elephant, like that don't do it. That is what is called fickle-mindedness. Nothing stays with you. You can think of a triangle, a pyramid, a sphere. So many symbols have come up and people fill their houses with these symbols and not even attend to them. Just a collection, it's a habit. We collect only to forget them, that's all. All that we have collected, whatever we have, we don't remember. Whatever we don't have, we remember, so go on fetching them. That's our style. Isn't it? So hold on to something within your own being, either in the forehead or in the heart. Why I say forehead or the heart is, they are the future points of Antahkarana. The Antahkarana, the light of Antahkarana exists or expresses itself from the region of the heart to the top of the head. So anything that you hold either in the heart or in the forehead or in the throat, whatever is convenient. Just to hold something, visualize there, or hold on to the natural activity of pulsation that is happening within it. If you keep observing this pulsation, slowly even this pulsation like a bird moves upwards. It leads you like Garuda to higher planes. It leads you to the throat. It leads you to the forehead. So this practice is important. If we do this practice, and make everything else less important to this, everything else is less important. This is what is called the priority. If you have the right will for it, it develops the will. When you do it regularly at the same time, time is your choice. Of late I realized it's not good to say 6 in the morning, 6 in the evening, because we have built systems by which undo whatever we want to do. We are really a funny humanity, I should say that. Very funny. We raise systems and structures which work contrary to us. That's our intelligence. And we think we are advanced. We think we are advanced humanity, but we do not know how to build a system which is in tune with nature. Nature has a system. If you build your system in tune with nature, you have the support of the nature. When you build a system which is contrary to nature, you are working contrary to nature, so nature self does not come and you become weak. It's like walking into the outer without an umbrella during the rainy season. You can't ask the rain to stop. You can't build a system which is contrary to nature's plan. That's how we have been doing it. Late night working. Nights are not meant for working. Nights are meant for subjective working. Days are meant for objective working according to the plan. Sleeping by the day and walking by the night goes contrary to nature, therefore in due time your health gets spoiled. Because health is in the hands of nature, not in your own hands. But we build systems like that. All that we build is contrary to what is our real progress. And we think what all we built is for our progress. That's an inversion that we suffer from. Surely. And we never learn in those matters. Nevertheless, fix a time during 24 hours. To start with 2 times that you do this practice twice daily at the same time. The choice of time is yours. But it has to be the same at all times. If you say 7 in the morning, 7 in the evening, let it be 7 in the morning, 7 in the evening. Don't cancel 7 in the evening because you have to go for a evening show. Don't cancel 7 in the evening because you have to go to market. You have to postpone things or adjust things for the sake of this. That's where do you really make this a priority or not is decided. If you start doing it slowly, it develops. That everything else falls in tune with this sadhana. If we try to adjust this for everything else, you remain where you are. It's like an experiment in a laboratory. In a laboratory, certain conditions are required. Only then the experiment can be done. You cannot change the conditions and say that the experiment is a failure. So this experiment also requires certain conditions, and the conditions are very minimal. Minimal conditions. When you follow this, slowly changes happen, which you may not be conscious in the beginning. Because it starts in the subconscious and adjusts your psyche and adjusts your habits, adjusts your limitations, turns your vices into virtues. It's a huge process. Provided the nature in you is confident that you are reliable, that you are dependable. Your dependability is observed by nature to start with. Unless you constantly churn the buttermilk, you don't get the butter. Unless you give a constant flame to the milk, it is not fit to be transformed into yogurt and buttermilk. Likewise, unless you give a constant churning, the yogurt or buttermilk will not become butter. Unless the butter is put to a constant flame, it doesn't become ghee. Between milk and butter, there is a difference in longevity. The butter has better longevity. The ghee has much more longevity than the butter. So is the case with us. As we put ourselves to transformations, slowly there is the related process happening of transformation. Unless transformations happen, practices are not said to be regular. How the transformations happen, we shall speak in the afternoon, giving certain examples. At the moment, you may ponder over this aspect, not that you do not know about it. The idea is, each time we meet, we have to make a reaffirmation so that the weak minds become strong. These affirmations help us to be strong enough to get into a rhythm of First giving birth to the subjective mind, then developing it. Once the subjective mind is developed, you have many occult senses. And then with the occult senses, we can make occult practices. Without the occult tools, we cannot do occult practices. Without internal tools, we cannot do internal work. That's what they say. The machinery has to be done with the tools. Without the tools, where are the tools? Don't set them outside, they are within you. The tools for building the temple come out of your own body of flesh and blood are in you. We can build this into a temple, and within the temple you find your own image as the image of the divine. That's how it works. It's a beautiful process. Once we submit to it and then start working for it, and then get revelation from within, all scriptures confirm to us as we work with the process. It's not that we need the books. We are the book. We are the book. And we can open chapter by chapter and realize the beauty of our own scripture. That's how the whole story will continue in the afternoon.